Prosecutors say they had very clear marching orders from Moscow. Recruit spies with information on American industry and weapons. Go so deep undercover that you blend in and stay a while. The alleged spies, also called illegals, include at least 4 married couples. According to local officials and a report in the New York Times, at least 3 of those couples had children, some very young.
They're leaving children here. They've had children. Now what happens?
Yeah, it boggles the mind. There are going to at least be 2 elementary school age children who quite possibly could be left behind in this if their parents end up in prison. There has to be some sort of amazing mindset to have children, to build such a life and to discard it, because your operational profile is to be a spy and to recruit spies.
Eric O'Neill is a former FBI operative who helped take down Robert Hanssen, Russia's infamous FBI mole. O'Neill says it's very unusual for one spy operation to include this many suburban families. Their spy craft? Prosecutors say some of it was the stuff of novels, like using invisible ink, and traditional methods of exchanging information and money, like dead drops of packages and so-called brush passes in public.
The brush pass, how does it work? Well, you have to hand off identical objects to each other, like this BlackBerry that Eric O'Neill and I are going to do. And Eric, here's the handoff. What's the object here, Eric, of this brush pass?
The object is to exchange the information or the device without making eye contact, with the minimal amount of disruption between bodies as possible and as slick as possible, so that any observer isn't going to notice it happening.
And you can't really stop either.
You can't stop. You got to move directly through. You don't want to have a pause and a bumble and a quick exchange.
Right.
It's got to be very fast.
But they also got high tech, according to prosecutors, like using steganography, embedding a coded message in an image that anyone can see on a website, then extracting that message with software, and using computers with special capability. I spoke about that with Peter Ernest, former CIA operations officer.
They allegedly use specially configured laptops with private wireless networks to communicate just between those laptops. What does that do for you in communication as a spy?
Look, all of the tradecraft in espionage technology is designed to enable the intelligence officer to communicate with his agent without being seen with him or her.
One of the defendants, though, allegedly meets with his handler at this corner, and then they walk to a park for a discussion. The handler turns out to be an undercover FBI agent. Was that sloppy?
I think they were pushing it, because up until now, that illegal, I think, has tried to conceal, in other words, try and conceal the fact he has any contact with the Russian embassy or with handlers.
That meeting, according to the documents, was only one day before this spy network was taken down. Brian Todd, CNN, Washington.